So someone told me something the other day that made me think that I could give parenting advice. So here goes. First thing in the morning, we let them come out of their room at 7. Sometimes they wake up earlier than that, sometimes later than that, but that's when they can come out of their room. We just need a little bit of time in the morning to do our prayer life and our time with getting coffee and getting our day ready a little bit. And once they come out, I usually say to the girls, "Good morning, beautiful," and to the boys, "Good morning, man of God." Almost the same thing every single day. I got that Parenting with Purpose book. And so that's something Jimmy did with his kids, and I liked it a lot. Next, we give them a nutritious breakfast first thing in the morning. It's not something that's going to be cereal and milk. It is something that they can usually do themselves, some English muffins with cream cheese or oatmeal, something that they're able to eat, and it's going to satiate them for a little while. Next, we do homeschool, so throughout the day they're learning. As far as correction goes, we used to do 1, 2, 3 magic, where we would count to 1 and then to 2 and then send them on sort of a timeout or have a consequence. We don't really do that much anymore. Now we just try to make our yeses and our no our nos, and try to leave it at that. Sometimes we do raise our voice and let them know that we're serious, especially at certain times of day where it's supposed to be quieter in the house, and that's been working for us so far. We don't have a lot of outside influences on the kids. We don't let them watch a ton of TV. They're not in school, so they're not out there getting a lot of, bringing a lot of things into the house. They don't have their own smart devices. There's no screens allowed in rooms. We do have a computer that's out in the main room where everybody can kind of see what's going on, so they're not really getting a lot of that outside the world into their lives, and we are dishing it out slowly but with them when it happens, and talking to them about things as they learn about them through us, basically, instead of letting culture kind of dictate what our kids are learning. At the end of the day, at 7 o'clock, our little kids go to bed. At 8:30, our big kids go to bed, and we usually read a story with them. We do a prayer with them and a song with them, and then we put them to bed for the night. Then my wife and I, since we put them to bed so early, we usually have 1 hour to 2 hours together before we go to bed, just to kind of talk and unwind from the day. And so that's been really nice to have. I also find it's really important to have the kids have something to look forward to. So for example, they have a 13 trip. So when they turn 13, the girls are going to go with dad, or the girl as she turns 13, and then the other girl when she turns 13, and then the boys will go with mom. And basically you can go to anywhere in the United States for a week, as long as it's an educational trip. You're following up on something you learned from school, so you might be going to Gettysburg, or you might be going to New York, or the Redwood Forest in California, or something that you're interested in, have a passion for. So they've been deciding all these years about what they want to do and what kind of a 13 trip they want to take. I learned that through somebody I met in a pool in I think it was Washington State. So they said that that was a big part of their life growing up, is their 13 trip, and I thought that was awesome. I also think it's cool that the boys go with the mom, and then they can kind of learn how to be a man a little bit on the tour, and then the girls have that memory with their dad. Take them on a date night as much as I can, each kid individually or a group of kids together. Since we have so many, I like to do individual date nights with the kids whenever possible and take them out. 90% of the time it's a non-paying date night, meaning it's a walk somewhere, or it's watching movies together, or sometimes, you know, some YouTube channel that's a clean YouTube channel, and having candy and ice cream and things like that at home. Every once in a while we do go out for ice cream. One time we saved up for 6 months of no money spending date nights, and we went to SeaWorld in San Antonio, so that was a lot of fun. So anyway, these are some of the tips that I think have been working for us as a family. Consistent bedtimes, consistent wake up times, good healthy foods that are not full of sugar, consistent, you know, greetings, consistent discipline, consistent looking forward to things, weekly date nights or bi-weekly date nights. We also pay them for chores that they do around the house. We have a chore system. We don't force them to do it. If they don't want to do that chore, then we just kind of teach them, hey, we'll do that chore for you. We'll unload the dishwasher, but you have to pay us a quarter to do it. But the chore system has been working out really good, because then they have their own money, and we have them separate that money into give, save, and spend, a system that we learned from Smart Money, Smart Kids from the Dave Ramsey book. So just little things that we picked out here and there. M is for Mama is a great book for learning about a lot of tips. Amanda will read a ton of stuff and then give me some of her favorite things to read. And really too, just, you know, getting them to learn about Jesus and the Lord, and maybe even watching your morning time with God. If they get that time, if they learn how to cultivate that relationship with God, that's going to set them up. And if you're able to get that time with God in the morning before you parent them, then that's going to make everything so much better as a parent. So I hope any of this was helpful. I hope one or two tips were helpful. Amanda had me read a passage in a book the other day, and one of the things that it said, which I really liked, was God has no grandchildren. And what that means is basically you can have a great relationship with Christ and pray every day and believe in the Lord, and that's going to be great for you, and it does help you praying for your kids, but your kids need to develop that own relationship with their Father in heaven. And so if you can push them to develop that, then it's going to be like a father and child relationship with the two of them, so that you're not in between it, and then they can go directly to God for any concerns or anxieties that they have. So thanks for watching. Follow my channel.